Hi, I'm Dean with Vamoose Electric Cycle, and today I'm going to show you how to install the front tire on your Vamoose e-bike. Most of the times from the factory, they're going to come looking like this without the front tire attached. That's alright, we're going to put it on together. Before we get the tire though, something you probably want to know about, and that is your brake caliper, which is going to be on the left side of the bike when you're in riding position. It is going to come with a little plastic holder that goes in there. Gonna have to pull that out so we can fit the brake disc into there. But while your brake caliper is empty, never squeeze your brake levers. That's gonna seize your brakes up, and we wanna have a nice first ride on this thing, so we don't wanna have to be dealing with that. So be very cognizant, do not squeeze your brake levers while the caliper is empty. Another thing you might want to know about is the brake disc on the tire here is kind of sharp, so just be careful while your hands are around it. Maybe wear protective gloves if that works for you. Another thing is going to be the orientation of the tire before we put it on, specifically the axle. It's not a perfect circle, it's actually made to slide into the forks here in a kind of specific way. So you're going to want to take note of the inside washer on here. It has a little raised edge on it on the one side, and that is so it can lock into the fork here, and we want that raised side of the washer to be on the bottom. So we'll slide that on. And again, the orientation can be a little bit of an issue to figure out while you're putting the tire on. You'll want to push it in there, squeeze it past the caliper, lift it up, and orientation is everything. So you want to make sure that your brake disc is going between the pads in the caliper, and then you want that to slide in nicely. It doesn't always work out as easy as that. There's sometimes some wiggling around you got to do in order to get the axle to slide in nicely. But once we're there, we can finger tight on these nuts, and now the wheel is going to just hang there nicely for us. And we can grab our next important tool, which is our torque wrench. And we want to adjust this to 50 Newton meters. And what's really important is that we tighten the bolts evenly. We're not going to torque up one side and then torque the other side. We're going to tighten them evenly until they both are torqued down. Torque wrench set to 50 Newton meters. If you don't have a torque wrench, that is about 50 pounds of pressure on a 10-inch wrench, and should be a 19 socket for you. From there, we're set. Wrong way. All right, and we're just gonna tighten a little bit at a time. Try to use good mechanical advantage, pulling the torque wrench towards you. There's one. And the other one. Okay. Once the front tire is installed, if you have a Vamoose all-wheel drive bike with the front hub motor, we can connect it to the power right here, turn the bike on, and just make sure everything's working all right. If you don't have a front hub motor, you can skip that step, and that is how you install a front tire on a Vamoose e-bike.